Excellencies, distinguished delegates, welcome to the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting. Without further ado, may I invite Her Excellency Maria Teresa P. Lazaro, Secretary of Foreign Affairs of the Philippines, to proceed with the meeting. Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting here in Cebu. As you know, the Philippines declared a state of national energy emergency on 24 March this year in response to the deepening effects of the Middle East conflict on our energy security. This declaration necessitated a recalibration of our ASEAN hosting commitments this year, including the shift to virtual modalities for the majority of our ASEAN meetings and scaling down of arrangements for meetings that would still need to be conducted in person, such as this summit. The scaling down is the view of the sensitivities considering the prevailing situation. Nevertheless, even as current developments may demand additional attention and practical coordinated cooperation, ASEAN remains directly and ready to address existing priorities. Under the Philippines chairship theme, Navigating Our Future Together, we approach this meeting with the understanding that navigating uncertainty requires both agility in responding to immediate and pressing challenges and steadfast commitment in pursuing our long-term goals as under the ASEAN Community 2045. As we convene today, we do so at a particularly consequential moment for our region. The ongoing crisis in the Middle East and its far-reaching repercussions, including the disruptions to energy flows, trade routes, food supply chains, and the welfare of our nationals, remind us that developments beyond our region can have immediate and profound effects on ASEAN. For ASEAN, which imports about 66% of its crude oil, this crisis meant significant increase in fuel and energy costs, which eventually led to higher prices for agricultural inputs, food, and basic commodities. The crisis also caused disruptions in some sectors, including transportation and tourism, and put at risk millions of ASEAN nationals in the Middle East. Against this backdrop, we convened two special meetings of the foreign ministers to discuss ASEAN's collective response to the effects of the situation in the Middle East and our region. Our discussions reflected ASEAN's resolve to act with urgency, coordinate closely, and respond collectively to these emerging challenges. Taking stock our experience, however, our discussions at the special meetings have pointed out that ASEAN needs to strengthen our crisis coordination and institutional readiness in times of crisis. In the midst of these developments, we remain steadfast in our resolve to consider important issues related to ASEAN community building, including the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia, which is in its golden jubilee this year, and Timor-Leste's post-admission integration. We will also continue to discuss matters related to ASEAN's external relations, ensuring that the partnership support ASEAN centrality. Finally, as a special envoy of ASEAN, Chair on Myanmar, I will provide a briefing on the updates on the situation in Myanmar and the implementation of the 5-point consensus. In closing, I thank you for your presence today, and I look forward to our productive discussions this morning. And at this juncture, I now invite the members of the press, media to leave the meeting room so we can proceed with our first session. It's okay, they will come. All right. Now we are in our 31st ASEAN Political Security Community Council meeting. Colleagues, guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you again to the 31st ASEAN Political Security Community Council meeting. Since the last APAC meeting in 2025, we have made significant strides in advancing the ASEAN Political Security Community pillar. These efforts reflect not only our shared commitment, but also a demonstration of our collective resolve to ensure that ASEAN remains a primary driving force in shaping the regional architecture and amid an increasingly complex global environment. Colleagues, I recall that when it was in Cebu, when the declaration of the acceleration of the establishment of the ASEAN community by 2015 was adopted during the 12th summit meeting. That moment laid the foundation for the three pillars we continue to strengthen today. The security community, now we call the political security community, the ASEAN economic community, and the ASEAN socio-cultural community as areas of deep cooperation among ASEAN member states. It was in this province of Cebu that our family witnessed a pivotal milestone in shaping the future of ASEAN. Thank you.